Elite One Recruiting and Evaluations is a one-of-a-kind, self-managed global scouting platform to help any athlete get recruited to their next level. Welcome to the Elite One Recruiting Show.
All right, so next we have a high school sophomore, 6'5" shooting guard from Phase 1 Academy in Toronto. He's a resident of Newville in Canada. Cooper Shortt, welcome to the show, Cooper. The highlight of Cooper we have there on our elite1recruiting.com website. If you watch the video, you would see at the end it says I'm elite1.com. That's our old URL, but it will redirect you to the new one there. And Cooper, did you have any questions you would like to ask anyone on the panel?
I just want to know, like, if I'm putting in enough work, you know, like I work out every single day. I'm hoping that I'll get recruited, and like I'm putting the work every single day, and I just want to know, like, how much a day would like a pro player work out a day? Like,
okay, Cooper, great question, man. Great question. When I was coming up and playing for the junior national team, Cooper, on my own at home before high school in the morning, I get up at 6 in the morning. I went for a 3-mile run to a field. I sprinted half the soccer field, jogged half 20 times. I then did sprints again in terms of the full length of a 100-meter dash, about 5 of those. Did about 100 push-ups, jumped up on the football stanchion thing, did some chin-ups, and then I ran back home, jogged back home, showered, had my cereal, most times cornflakes, and jumped on the bus, went to school. Went to school, had practice after school. After practice, I went to the gym and put in about 2, maybe 3 hours till the gym closed at 10 of work. So what I would do, Cooper, that's during school, but that's during school. I'm doing my full load of school, and I'm still doing my homework on the bus as I'm taking the TTC bus in Toronto to do that. So that's a level of work that I did in high school. Your question about how do you know? If you're exhausted, you reach the bed, you're exhausted. You're supposed to eat, sleep, basketball. So I'm laying in my bed and it's raining, Cooper, and I'm shooting the basketball on my bed. I'm laying in my bed shooting the basketball in the air. And it's rolling up, rolling down. You know what I'm saying? Everything's about the game. Everything I do is about the game, my brother. And eating right. You know what I mean? And, you know, if guys are getting together and they're fooling around and they're not my level, they're my friends, it's cool. It's all right. But I want to go shoot and work on my game a bit. And sometimes you have to separate yourselves from your friends, which is hard for young people to do. You want to be social. We're built to be social beings. But, man, the winners separate themselves, man. The winners, Cooper. Say, all right, you know what? I can't go to this party. I can't smoke that weed. I can't do that. I can't drink that beer. I got stuff to do. And that's when you're going to know, Cooper, when you start seeing your friends say, yo, man, he ain't coming. He's doing something else. Then you know you're on the right track in a way, man. That's how I went about it. You know you're on the right track. So it's great. It's a great question, man. How do you know? Are you doing push-ups in your basement or on your stairs? If it's rain outside, you go in the garage and do your dribbling stuff. If it's snowing outside, you put your gloves on, your hat on, you go in your garage, it's cold, 20 minutes, run back in the house, warm up. Brother, it's about that if you want to make it. And I think you can, because I saw what you were doing there. I saw the contact drills. You're driving through contact, finishing. So I'm enthused on what I see so far, my friend.
And
Thank
from
you.
a national coach's perspective, Dave, so when you're trying to get teams to come or players to come onto your national team, what do you look at in a sophomore or 16-year-old, 17-year-old? What do you look at that says, okay, this kid is good enough to make my national team? They've put in enough work. How do you know that you want to get a kid?
Like for us, we normally like recruit out of the country, but you have to see like specific stuff that fit your playing style. The coach will look for players who fit a certain playing style or a certain weakness in the team. So you have to come with a certain playing style, depends on how the coach want to recruit.
For sure. So Cooper, just a few things to highlight when we're watching the game at an elite level, whether we're considering college or NBA, WNBA, doesn't really matter. There's universal things that we can find within each position. And specifically with the shooting guard, we're seeing high scoring volume in multiple ways. So for sure, your 3-point shot, mid-range, free throw, overall consistency with your shot fluidity is very important. So if you're shooting and you're doing workouts, for instance, if we're doing a workout, instead of just shooting 33s, like let's now like focus more on percentages. So if I'm shooting 33s, let me see if I make 20, let me see if I make 18, 19, because we want to start getting to the point that we're making these wide open shots. You watch these professional games, they're not only making the wide open shots, they're also making the shots with hands in their faces, right? So first off, we're going to definitely look at our shooting and our overall ability to creating off the dribble. And for me personally, I've seen you play and I've seen you do some workouts. And I know one thing feedback I can give you personally is just your ability to kind of keep that ball a little bit tighter and close to your body. You do a great job of separating from creating space from a defender, which is a very important quality for shooting guards, because that's how you create an open shot. Open shots are usually coming from either you getting open from coming off of screens and then your defender trailing, or either going underneath and then you create a scenario where you can shoot off of that, or you having the ball in a step back, different versions of ways to create space for a shot, or a step back, re-attack and get to the rim and be able to finish with contact with guys that are either going to be your same height, and when you get into the paint, they're going to be bigger. So there's universal skills. Those are the main things. And as you're doing the workout, number one thing I can definitely give you as advice now is move less from let me just do this 10 times to now let me do percentages, or I have to make this shot 5 times before I move on, because we want to build that consistency. And from the shooting guard position, because obviously it can go more in depth than that, but those are just some solid things I think you could take right away and adapt to right now.
Those are some great points, Kayla. And Cooper,
Yes,
one of
thank
the
you.
things I did with Dylan Brooks, I trained him, he's with Memphis now, is what Kayla was talking about, percentages, but also volume. 1,000 jump shots. Now, how long would it take you to shoot 1,000 jump shots? So your jump shot becomes so fluid. And then spin dribble jump shots, Kayla touched on step back jump shots, inside out jump shots, inside out crossover jump shot, someone running at you jump shot. And so you'll get those repetitions, but also the percentages. Do you know, Cooper, where you make shots from? Because what I did with Dylan Brooks was that I said, okay, you know what, where is his highest percentage shot? So the coach says, okay, there's 10 seconds on the clock. I'm going to give you the basketball. Where would you go, Cooper? Would you go on the left wing or the right wing? Would you go in the corner or straight on? And those
Probably
are things
left wing.
you say it again, son?
Probably left wing.
There you go. So you already know. So the coach calls timeout, says just 10 seconds to go. We're going to give Cooper the ball. Okay, coach, set the screen for me here. I'm winning this game for you. And that's going to help you get recruited, because you know. And when you do workouts, you know. And when you do workouts, coach will say, okay, look at the fluidity on this shot. He's making shots. Now, it's different in the game. There's different variables. You know, the guy who's guarding you, the tall Nigerian kids now and African kids now with wingspan and 7 feet, they're running at you. There's different variables. But if you can shoot it and you've done the work, my friend, Kayla's right. You know, she's right on point. You'll get there. You know what I'm saying? It's great stuff.
Cooper, while we have you here, everyone on this panel has been recruited and through high school into university, onto their national teams. What were some questions you'd like to ask us about the recruiting process?
I mean, how was you have like a lifestyle now? Like you had a lifestyle before, and then when you got recruited, how did your lifestyle change? Like, was it a drastic change or like?
Okay, well, let me
know.
see if I know exactly what you're saying. Is this like lifestyle changed during the recruiting process, or after the commitment?
Yeah, like
during the process.
During the process.
Okay, yeah, well, okay, everyone can take a turn at that. I'll try to be real quick and just let you know that. I mean, for me, the day I found out a coach liked me, there was an energy, as like it made it feel like, man, all this work is worth it, and I could see a light at the end of the tunnel. And I can tell you, for me, my work ethic was off the charts. And I was very fortunate because Gary Waters was the coach that recruited me to Eastern Michigan at the time. And Gary actually gave me a bunch of preseason workouts that we were going to have to do, and gave me a whole workout plan for the summer. I was so giddy. I mean, I had some clear direction. It's not always the case, when you're being recruited, you don't always get that type of feedback in terms of exactly what you need to do to be ready. But I was fortunate because, Eastern Michigan, when they were recruiting me, they actually gave me a little bit of a blueprint of what it was that I would need to expect.
I'll just piggyback on that. I can agree. I remember similar to my experience when a coach reached out, same thing. I was like, wow, somebody is taking their time to reach out and thinks I could benefit their program. So I can definitely relate to that feeling that Wayne mentioned. And Cooper, you just got to remember that only one school really needs to believe in you. We can talk about multiple stories, and some of us, even on this panel, had different journeys in terms of being slightly more recruited than others. But at the end of the day, you just need one school. So for me personally, I was recruited early, so I had an idea that the path that I would follow would most likely get to me playing Division I basketball. But the main thing that changed for me once I actually was talking to coaches on the phone, which first of all, very shy. I'd be on the phone sweating when they'd ask me questions and be overall very anxious. But when I committed and even going through the process of recruiting, it's a sense of relief because similar to what Wayne said, you have more direction. In terms of now, that's one thing crossed off the list. And it's kind of like, until then, there's some anticipation. But then it's also a definite reminder that the work doesn't stop. And then now that you're there, it's almost when people describe it as you're starting at the bottom of the totem pole again, right? So now you got to prepare yourself. Like if you did well in high school, it's almost like the clock shifts back again. And now you're getting ready to work and earn your spot. So it's a combination, just to summarize it, of continuing to do what you're doing to get there, and then you got to just bring it up to a next level once you get to that point, and elevate everything you do. Because I always tell kids, if you're not enjoying it now, it's only going to get harder. So when you're going through the process, you got to understand that once even you check off that point of, okay, now I know where I'm going, that's honestly the beginning of the journey, not the end.
I agree with what everybody's saying, but you want to try, when you go to a new school, you want to try to learn as fast as possible what the system and the different thing that the coach like or dislike about players, and just try to adjust as soon as you get there.
That's a great point, Dave. Cooper, for me, it's a little bit different than these guys. It highly touted a bit, but here's what I want to let you know. Things will change. Once a school says they're interested in you and you found that's the one and you've visited there and you say you're going to be comfortable going there, once you get there, what changes? You're talking about changes. Well, mom and dad are not waking you up anymore. Mom and dad are not saying go to class or do your homework. Nobody's checking on you like that. You're going to be a person who has to take care of yourself in terms of that. They'll feed you. They'll look out for you, but you have to manage your time. Time management is important, Cooper. So you have to put time aside to study. You put time aside to do your research for your work. And then the basketball stuff is to me was easy. Once I'm on the court, I'm in my world. However, off the court is where I found changes happen. So that's where I think changes may happen for you, where mom and dad are not doing stuff for you anymore. You got to have your stuff together, get your shoes, get your bag, get everything together, go to class, get your laundry done. All those things are about growing up, right? You're in university now. So that's what changes. Basketball on the court, you'll make the adjustment. It's ball. It's ball. They play balls round. The height of the rim is the same. Cooper. But it's the life skills part. Are you prepared to do your laundry? Are you prepared to, make sure you have breakfast, make sure you have lunch, make sure you have dinner, get to the cafeteria on time, depending on how they do where you're going to be going, and adjust to life. And adjust to life. It's not that bad. They'll help you though. All right. Ask questions. There's a lot of people here who care about you, or else Wayne and them care about you, or else you wouldn't be on here with us. So we're with you. We want you to succeed. And anytime you want, you reach out. We'll be happy to help you get there. Okay, bud? Just double up the work.
Thank you very much.
Double up the work.
Yeah.
You're gonna do it. You're
Yes,
welcome.
Sir. Good job. Hey, Cooper, any last things, anybody you'd like to thank, and maybe even tell us a little bit about you, just about you, your game, your goals. Okay.
All right. My goals in basketball are first to get D1 scholarship, obviously, and then if I can get a D2, that's perfectly fine. Okay. And I would like to go to the NBA. That's my main two goals right now, and I'm working every day towards it. I started basketball when I was 12 years old in grade. No, I started when I was 10 years old, and ever since then, I've been putting in the work, and it's just taken me to this spot right today. And I'm just gonna continue to put in the work every day.
Well, I am a witness to that. This young man works extremely hard. Kayla's worked with him. I've worked with him. Dave and Richard, he's a special young man, and he's definitely going to hit one, if not all, of those goals. We have no doubt about that. So you keep up the good work. You want to say shout out to anybody before you get out of here?
Yeah, shout out to my parents and all my coaches that have coached me in the past. Mainly my dad. He drives me everywhere that I need to be for my dreams and where I need to be to get better. And I really appreciate that.
Nice. Good stuff.
Good job.
Yep. Gratitude gets you there. Gratitude gets you there. I love it. Way to go, young fella.
Thank you very much.
Cooper,